Ladies and gentlemen, so today's motion is this house believes that schools should expel students who committed as a bullying case. So in this case, I probably stand as the opposition teams and strongly disagree with today's motions. Panels, right now we live in a society that everything that we do have their own consequence. We need to think twice before we do some actions, especially on the society like school, for example. Bullying can occur due to many factors, as simple as having different opinions or point of view between each other. But in the most cases, bullying happens because of physical differences that a person has. But also bullying can be caused by internal problems that not everyone know the truth about the cases. Bullying is totally wrong. We can't bully someone else whatever the reason we have, but to exploit it, I think it's not fully correct. There's another reasons and there are still many ways that are wiser than exploit the bullying actors. To make it clear, I want to explain 2 points for dividing these motions. First is bullying. Bullying is an aggressive behavior so as to dominate the other persons. There's many types of bullying like physical, verbal, relational, cyber, sexual, prejudicial, but in common types that often occurs are physical and mental. And number 2, exploit. So I dividing exploit from school, that means the bullying actor it's not be the part of the school again. And the bullying actor is not the part of the students of the schools anymore. And then the school doesn't have any responsibility anymore with bullying actors. I have several goals in these motions. So we have a goal in this case. First, apply other wiser methods to cases of bullying at schools. Secondly, we want to minimize bullying cases on the future. And last, we want to getting decisions that does not harm or give a negative effect from both sides, from victims and also perpetrator itself. Okay, let's jump to my first layer of my arguments. Mental problems that student usually has with exploit the bullying actors just gonna give us terrible conditions and even worse situations. Why? The average student is a teenager. Teenagers are a human or a persons who are still emotionally immature. They will often act without thinking twice, without thinking about the risk that will happen from the actions that they take. And average students still have an unstable emotional. So with that reason, if the school will exploit the bullying actors, the perpetrators will have a very bad cases because they're gonna have a mentally problems, and with that reason they're gonna do more aggressive or intimidating someone else in the future because they doesn't have mental unstable at that time. And exploit bullying actually also have many negative effects. For example, first, they doesn't have any preparations when they are from the school. They may not commit acts of bullying at school again, but it's very possible to carry out acts of bullying in the society, or in the worst case, they could commit crimes. That is effect when we just fix the actor of bullying. Instead of that, we can just fix their mental problems. We need to focus fixing the behavior, not the actors. Instead of exploit the students from schools, we can do mediations and conflict resolutions. We can focus on bringing together the bully and the victims and the community in controlled setting to discuss the harm causes. We can bring a family or parents from the both sides, because maybe when we just do a mediations from both sides without their parents, they could feel uncomfortable to talk and speak the truth. The school also can have a collaborations with a competent psychiatrist to help them to fix or to rehab the bad behavior that bullying actors can do. And then if we exploit the bullying actors, it means we don't give the chance to change. Like I said before, teenagers have a unstable mental, but that's not always like that. As they grow, they will be much mature in the future. They can change to be a better person, but if we exploit from school, we're really wasting that change. We doesn't know how much doctor from the bullying actor, how much a bullying actor that can be a potential to be an engineer, we doesn't have to know. With that change, and we just gonna miss the opportunities if we exploit them from school. We need to give them a change. So the conclusion from these motions, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion from these motions, we can just fix the person who exploit it from school. It's just gonna make the situations more terrible. Instead of that, we need to fix the behavior or the habits that students has to minimize the cases of bullying. And with that, I proudly to say that I stand as the opposition in this motion. Thank you very much.